On this episode of Our Little Warehome,
we're gonna get our flooring installed, our kitchen, our doors, our trim out, the paint.
I just want to move into the house.
So let's get started. We're the Branch family, just ordinary people who decided to buy an 80-year-old warehouse and turned it into our downtown family home. Come along with us and experience all the hard work and thousands of decisions it's going to take to turn this derelict warehouse into our little Warehome.
It's time to paint the Warehome, and there are so many colors to pick from. I'm overwhelmed and I need help, so I've asked Alan's sister Lacey to come help me.
Hi, I'm Lacey. I'm a designer and I'm Alan's younger sister.
So this is the front of our house, Lacey. I want to paint these doors dark.
You don't want to keep them white?
No.
I'm kidding, that's gross.
I want them dark, and then around with the hardy board, I think I want to do a green.
I think an olivey green would be good. Probably I'd stay away from something that pulls blue, like the undertone is blue. Let's pull a little bit of yellow and kind of color block it where it's this whole area, and maybe do the doors really, really dark to contrast it so it's a focal point. As people are walking in, it's like this is the front of the house since the house is so large.
What about the second floor?
Just because the house has so much going on, it has so many textures, I think that if you went an accent color, it's gonna distract from those gorgeous copper windows.
Should we accent with the color just around the copper or do neutral everywhere?
Neutral everywhere.
I don't know.
You wanna accent with green?
Yeah.
So it looks like a playhouse? Absolutely not.
The Warehome has many different textures and materials. I want to make sure that the color we choose works well with the brick, the 80-year-old trusses, and our new Shelving wood windows.
So Anna, the beams look awesome. I love how y'all did the distressing. That looks really, really good.
Little Jimmy helped with that.
And I love all like the little wood accents that you left, the original color of the brick, which is gorgeous. I mean, because this is what makes it so unique and unusual. Nobody has this kind of stuff in their house.
We know we want white, but there are hundreds of different whites on the spectrum. We've narrowed it down to about 5 different variations of white, but we're still not sure which one will look best. Well, here we are in the living room, and I need to decide on a white paint for all of the walls. I don't know which way to go because I don't want it glowing when the sunlight comes in.
Yes. Well, and another problem too with white paints are you don't really notice the color until they're side by side, and then you'll see how they pull, like this one's yellow, this one's blue, this one's pink.
Right, I didn't even realize these were so dark and a gray tone.
Whites can be one of the hardest colors to pick out because of that. And another thing too is that we need to have samples by all of your gorgeous, original brick, because that color is gonna reflect onto the white. So that could make it pull pink or blue or what have you. So also you have to keep in mind, you don't have a whole lot of actual walls.
Right.
Most of it is brick and windows and wood. So you want something a little bit more neutral just because you've got a ton of artwork. So I know your stuff.
Right.
So it's just another thing to think about.
Okay.
Lacey's right. We do have a lot of art in our home. My mom's an artist, I create a little bit of art, and so does Lacey. And even when we travel, we pick up art. So we want to choose a neutral color that presents the artwork and doesn't distract from it. We started out buying 20 gallons of paint for the walls and the ceiling. And we went through that so quickly, we found ourselves back at Lowe's within a couple hours. And then we bought 20 more gallons. And a few hours later, we were back at Lowe's. We had to drag the kids along on all these errands, and they got super bored, but they made the best of it.
With Lacey's help, we chose a Dove white. It's not a super bright white, but it's a nice warm toned white. Jimmy and Sarah were excited to choose a wall color for their room. Jimmy, of course, went for a blue accent, and Sarah went for a pink. I think it's gonna look fantastic. For the exterior paint, the second floor has a lighter green tone to it, so it kind of blends in with the brick. But the front door, we wanted a really dramatic entrance, so we did a darker green with the same black trim. Most residential home builders use a white trim around their windows. We chose to go black, so that copper cladding around the window would really pop. The white paint on the inside has turned out to be exactly what we wanted, and the outside is looking great as well.
Even though we had professional tradesmen actually building the home, I wanted to take on some of the smaller projects myself. So Jimmy and I spent a weekend and used a natural live edge slab to build some shelves in the mudroom. We really busted our butts that weekend, and I think I may have worked Jimmy just a bit too hard because towards the end, he went a little bit crazy.
I am the caution tape ninja!
Our construction site has turned into a delivery zone, and Jimmy's always running up to me telling me what just got delivered.
I just came to tell you that we have the mini fridge for the wet ball.
The Warehome is full of boxes now, and these boxes are full of our new kitchen cabinets. Remember Bob? He helped us design our kitchen, and he's stopping by to get things kicked off. Yep, this space is finally starting to look like a kitchen.
My granite countertops just arrived and I'm in love with the way they look. We didn't go with the typical high gloss granite. We went with what's called a leather finish. It's kind of a matte with a nice smooth touch. My island is huge. It had to be delivered in 2 pieces, and they pulled the seams together to make it look flawless. And the hole that they're cutting in the granite, that's where my induction cooktop is gonna go.
In this project, we've had lots of surprises. Scary surprises like the 4 hurricanes that came directly towards us and our half-finished home, and even gross surprises like finding a spit cup buried in the wall that we discovered weeks later. I'm really glad we found it, but now I'm wondering what else is buried within my walls. In the upstairs common rooms of the house, we went with a reclaimed hardwood that actually comes out of the backs of semi-trucks and train cars. It's really hard and 1.25 inches thick, so it's really durable. As the years go by, as scratches happen, we can refinish the floor numerous times and continue to restain and reseal it. The hardware installation took 3 days to put down, and then another 1.5 weeks to fill the cracks, sand it again, and then stain it 3 more times. I love the inconsistent look of this wood floor. It matches perfectly in our unusual home.
In all of the closets in the Warehome, we had custom-built shelving made. Now that sounds fancy and expensive, but it's really not. Josh and Aaron built our closets out of cabinet-grade plywood and simply routed the front edge of the wood and painted them white, and they look beautiful and functional. Keeping sound down in our house is very important, and sound can travel right through a door. So we chose a solid core 5-panel door for all of our interior doors. The 5-panel is kind of a throwback to Craftsman style housing.
This project has been super stressful, and so we often look for the weekends to have a little bit of fun and blow off some steam.
We've been working on the Warehome forever. So I said, let's go to the lake for some rest and relaxation. Here we go. My ideas are the best.
If you remember from a previous episode, Bob helped us pick out our tile for our shower.
I like that. I like this, but I also like the idea too of doing rock floors or even one wall in the shower, different tile. What does that say about me as a homeowner? Does that look luxurious?
I say it looks like someone who's doing something a little bit different, because you don't see that in everybody's home.
Good call. Good call, Bob.
And here it is being installed, and I'm absolutely in love with it.
If you remember from the previous episode, we installed this Armor Light rolling glass door in our kitchen, and we needed to have a railing to keep people from falling out of our building. And so we found this railing at an import store in Orlando and had a local metal worker add these structural braces in and install it. We love the way it turned out because it feels old world and it's very, very strong.
It's finally moving day, or maybe it's gonna take days, but it's time to get to work.
Moving a family of 4 from a 3,200 square foot house into the Warehome took 3 days and 7 truckloads of boxes. My back still hurts.
I've never walked up this many stairs in one day. I'm starting to think I have way too much stuff. Maybe I should downsize a bit.
Just when I think we're done, Dad hands me something else. I'll be glad when this day is done because I am so tired.
The joy I am feeling right now is kind of masking the pain that I am going to feel in my body later from carrying all this stuff. We're rolling out rugs, putting out furniture, and there's actually a place to sit down now.
So if you remember about a year ago when I took the family into this warehouse that we were about to buy, how gross it was?
It was disgusting.
And you see how nice it is now?
Okay, it's beautiful.
Sometimes I have good ideas.
It's my dream home.
So on the next episode, in the final episode, you're gonna see us moved into this space.
You'll see the final product.
You'll see all our furniture and the rugs. You'll see the kitchen and the bathroom, and you'll see all of our spaces.
It's come together beautifully.
So check out the next episode, you'll see everything.